Hey, look, everybody wants a Miller trade ASAP, Donnie. The thirst is, oh, give me Miller updates. I look, as I've said for a while, the offers for Miller haven't been great, Donnie. You know, a deal would have been struck by now if they were great. Some offers have been actually lowballs. People got to realize Canucks are trading a guy who turns 32 next month. 5 years left, $8 million per year. He's having an off year, issues with Pettersson, leave of absence. Look, there's a lot of things for teams to consider. This is not an easy trade, Don. The Rangers, yes, still in the mix, but they're 6-0-3 in their past 9, so they can be more patient now. Rangers are playing really, really well, Don.
Yeah.
Carolina's got interest, but how long will they be in it? Remember this. I want you to remember this, Don.
Okay, I will.
They have a very hands-on owner who likes to bargain shop all the time. That seems like a team that would want the Canucks to retain money on Miller's contract. The owner is well known in Carolina for calling agents during contract negotiations and reminding agents all the time the low cost of living in Carolina and the low taxes in Carolina.
Tom
Dundon. He's hands-on. He gets in there. He gets greasy. Gets in there and starts calling all.
The Canucks should
sign him. I'm trying to say he gets in there. He gets. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, the Carolina owner in there is an interesting. We'll see what happens. I do believe the Devils like Miller a lot, but cutting a deal for Miller from the New Jersey side is a whole lot tougher than just saying, "Hey, we like the player."
Just send the Hughes brothers Vancouver's way.
Yeah, sure.
It's easy.
Get it done in the next 10 seconds, Don. Come on. Are you kidding me? Anyways, I know you're joking. Miller has not been asked to waive. This trade could happen today. It could happen at the Four Nations, or it could happen at the deadline, or it could happen in the offseason.
What's new here?
Okay, but hold it a second. I'm going to get to what's new. The Canucks got to pay OEL $4.7 million next year. Mikheyev $700,000.
So that takes care of the cap increase.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's why the Vancouver Canucks, you would assume, have no interest in retaining on Miller. It's too much money, Don, next year. I don't know how the Canucks aren't frustrated right now. They're not getting fair value in return. But one phone call.
Frustrated with who?
Huh?
With who?
Well, just with the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Frustrated with their own players, I would imagine.
Yeah, exactly. This thing's obviously gone on too long. It's been on and on, week after week after week, and boy, you like to nip it in the bud and get it over with, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. The offers haven't been great. Canucks are not dealing from a position of strength. It's a tough go trying to move this guy.
A couple of things, and I'll start here. So many times when something goes on like this, and there's all sorts of speculation, and a player is reportedly on the trade market, and there's all sorts of rumors floating around about certain teams, that something comes out of left field.
Yeah, it could happen.
Dallas has been mentioned, Rick. Boston has been mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what about those two teams and what I just said? Something come out of left field. Maybe not Carolina, maybe not the Rangers, maybe not the Devils.
Well, another team you hear a lot about, I don't know if it's Pettersson or Miller, but Chicago.
Yeah.
Look, here's the other thing for you, Don. Every team's checked in. What I'm going to tell you is so many teams love Miller's snarl, his edge, his size, his physicality. Hockey people will never, ever stop liking what Miller brings to the table. Every team in the league's probably checked in. I mean, come on, let's
be
honest.
Canucks like that?
Like what?
His
snarl, physicality,
the edge,
snarl,
the physicality.
The Americans on Four Nations love his snarl, his physicality. Everybody loves Miller, the player. The problem is he's turning 32 next year. He's got 5 years at $8 million. There's dressing room issues. It's a tough deal to make, Don. It's a tough deal to make.
What about also out of left field? I would think you don't hear a lot about this. Well, two things.
Yeah.
Number one, what if out of nowhere it's Pettersson who moves, or the more likely situation, what if Miller stays?
Yeah.
What if Miller sticks around? What if they don't trade him until near the trade deadline when there's a little more heat on the contending teams, or in the off season?
You make a good point.
When teams are upset with the way they played.
I'll tell you what. You make a good point, and I'll tell you why. Everything's on the table right now. Yeah. You think after that Buffalo game, management's happy? Everything. If they're still taking calls on Pettersson, he's still got to be in play too. He's got to be in play, Don. Is he getting off the hook because he scored against the 30th ranked Buffalo Sabres the other night? Like before that, he had no points in 4 straight games. So I think you make a good point. I think Pettersson his name's still out there.
You and I argued about this. I believe it was earlier this week, and I heard on morning radio today, 650. What do you call them? Bruff and Ruff.
Bruff and Ruff.
Halford and Bruff. And they said this, and you've said this, and I just shake my head. I don't think you make a trade. You guys are saying, well, they don't have to win this trade.
They're not going to win the trade.
But you can't go into a deal thinking that.
I just told you 5 reasons why they're not going to win a trade. He's turning 32. He's got $8 million on the books.
But you have to go in thinking you're going to win the trade. I'm sorry, you do. Like you're getting rid of a player that other teams really want. You have to go in thinking just to please Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
No, you got to go in thinking that you're going to win the deal. I almost drove off the road hearing that today.
Donnie, I gave you 5 reasons why they're not going to win the trade. He's 32 next month, $8 million a year. You want to take that on without retention?
But you still have to go in thinking we're going to win this deal.
They're not going to win it. They're not going to win a Miller trade, Don. It's just I don't see it.
Fine, but I get that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is you have to go in thinking we're getting the best deal possible. We're going to win this. That's not to unload the guy.
No.
Right? Like the deal with the Rangers. Well, Hedl, a prospect, and a first round. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
It's not, and that's why they were. That's the problem they have. The offers have not been good enough.
But you guys think that it's okay if they lose the deal.
Hey, they decided 6 weeks ago. They've been at this for 6 weeks with Miller, Don. They didn't start trying to trade him 10 days ago. And Pettersson as well. 6 weeks ago, they decided one of these two have to go. But the fact they haven't done the deal yet, the fact now we're hearing lowball offers, the offers aren't great, it's not good, Don. I mean, but one phone call changes everything. And with our luck, they'll probably trade him today.
Well,
but not hearing they're getting fair value in return at all.
It's just amazing. I mean, it's not amazing because it's
a gong show.
To be expected.
It's a gong show that they're in this position with their 2 top centers.
What I find tough for fans, and I'm sure management, the coaching staff, players, just how it changes game to game.
Yeah.
Because, after those 2 games last week, listen to me, I'm getting excited. My voice is getting up. After the Jets game and the Kings game, outscored 11-2 total. Get him out of here. And then they beat the Oilers. An edgy game on Saturday. A lot of fun. They win. Controversy and they're back. Yeah. And then comes Buffalo on Tuesday. And people are like, well, maybe we're back to a deal. Hey, look, I will say this, and this is getting back to what we talked about yesterday, is that people were really upset after the Jets and Kings losses.
Yep.
Back to being pretty pleased on Saturday. The problem with that Buffalo loss, I suspected, and again, we talked about this yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. I sensed indifference, like people going, whatever.
Yeah.
This just doesn't matter, and that's really dangerous, I think.
Well, it
for
is.
Business.
Consumer confidence right now in the market for the Canucks is very low, Don. Very, very low for a very good reason.
Okay. Meanwhile, so the latest on JT Miller is to sum up.
They're not getting great offers.
Okay.
Low ball offers, and they're having a tough time moving them. And you know what? Time will tell.